Guten Yardning. Today we're going to prepare the kohlrabi we just harvested. Well, we're back inside now, and we're getting ready to prep these kohlrabi for a couple of different methods of eating them. And I'm going to get this one all set up and peeled. And the first thing I want to do is take off the root at the bottom. And I gotta say, this is a fibrous little root system here. Very hard to cut off. And we're going to start by taking off the limbs, the stems, first. These are really fresh, so these are coming off quite easily. The top all the way off. And then we're going to save these leaves and steam them up later on. I had some earlier today. They were fabulous. There we go. Away from the leaves. Now I've got the root system gone and I've got the leaves gone. I'm going to cut a little farther up along the base because I know that the base is much more fibrous than the top. You can see there. And I'm going to cut right along the top with the other knife, and oh man, that is much softer. Much softer. I've read that you don't have to peel this off, but that it can be, again, tough. So most people do. And they just go right down the edge, just like this, the whole way around. Oh, it just smells so fresh. Right all the way down. I also read that the standard peeler that you might not have possibly won't work as well because this skin is pretty thick, and I assume that that would actually take a good bit longer to do. Oh, this is coming off very nicely. Oh, you could just, looks like an apple when it's peeled away. For any of you pros out there, if I'm butchering this a little bit, you have to bear with me. All right. Look at that. A little bit of the dirt from the root system I need to wash off. And there we go. A peeled and ready to work with kohlrabi. Okay, I've cleaned up my work area a little bit. I don't like to work in a mess, even if that mess is going to go into my compost, which is exactly where the skin of this kohlrabi is going. But what I'm going to do first with the kohlrabi, and I have a couple of different ones, so I can show a few different methods here, but I'm just going to cut this one in half. And in half again, and I'm basically going to cut this one into pieces that I can roast. So these are about half inch pieces that I can then, little cubes that I can roast in the oven. And my understanding is, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the thinner they are, the easier they are to eat raw. So I wouldn't necessarily want to eat a whole bunch of these at this size. I'd probably want them to be a little bit thinner than this. But I am still going to try a piece of these at this size. Oh, it's a little too small. I'm gonna try a piece of this at this size just to see what it tastes like. So here we go. Oh man. Now I see what they mean when they say it's got a little pepperish to it, but is definitely sweeter than cabbage, definitely sweeter than a turnip. Oh, that's just delicious. To prep the kohlrabi that's going into the oven, we're going to first add a tablespoon of oil. Now my preference is definitely olive oil, but we don't have any right now. So we're going to take a tablespoon of oil, 1 clove of minced garlic, and some salt and pepper, just a dash to taste. I'm going to mix that all together. Now once that's mixed up just a little bit, we're going to take our kohlrabi that we diced up. I'm just going to toss it in here a little bit. Just like so. And these are going to go in the oven in a single layer for 15 to 20 minutes at 450 degrees until they're brown. This is my second kohlrabi, and I've already peeled it. I cut it in half, and then I cut 1/2 of it in half again. And I'm going to make this kohlrabi 2 different ways. I'm going to prepare it 2 different ways, both of which were suggested to me. The first one is I've cut this one in half, and so I'm going to start slicing. Not quite that thin, really thin slices. So it's going to be kind of like almost potato chip looking pieces here. And these pieces, if you add a little salt, are supposed to make a great snack. Some people like salt, some people like to add a little lemon. But if you leave just enough width so that they're still crunchy, these are supposed to be great on a salad. So we'll take some of our lettuce from the garden and some of the spinach, and we'll make a nice salad with these on top. And for the second method with this kohlrabi, I'm going to take some of the vegetables that we've already harvested from our garden, some carrots, turnips, radishes, and then the kohlrabi, and julienne it all together in a kind of dry slaw. And here is the finished product of the julienned vegetables, all from our garden, all perfectly fresh, crunchy, and ready to be eaten. If you want to add some dressing to it, go ahead, salt, whatever, but this tastes amazing just as it is. And there you have it, folks, kohlrabi done 3 ways. The roasted, which came out looking and tasting amazing, fresh and raw, cut thin, and then julienne. I've also heard that this the kohlrabi does well pickled. And I've not done much with pickling, but we're going to make that our goal for one of our future harvests of the kohlrabi. We really enjoyed being with you and making this kohlrabi 3 different ways. It's so nice to be able to add the other ingredients from our garden as well. We hope you enjoy it. If you have a favorite way of preparing your kohlrabi, let us know in the comments. Go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And remember, when you're with us, you're good to grow.